my Jehovah's Witnesses, my watchtowerers, my track societyists. How are ya? How are ya? I'm here to teach you. I want to learn you something today. See the Bibles? Now, if you look clearly, you're going to see they only give you 3 versions of their translation. They only go back to 1984. And I'm going to tell you why they do that in a second. But there's always truth. You can still find truth. It's much harder to convince a Jehovah's Witness the truth of the scriptures. They're going to have a revelation of their own. You can plant some seeds, that's fine. But if you really want to hit them hard, show them where the organization has been lying to them. Show them where the lies are and ask them, why are they hiding and lying and changing stuff? Ask them, why did they change this? But they used to have this and they changed it to this. Well, why did they change it to this? Why is your religion the ever-changing religion of all religions? Every day is something new. Something could change tomorrow. They changed so much over the years. More than I changed my underwear. They've changed their stances on blood. They've changed their stances on worship. They've changed their stances on so many different things. They used to put others in their translation. Then they removed it. Then they put it in brackets. Then they took the brackets away. Then they said it's okay to worship Jesus. They say, no, it's not okay to worship Jesus. Oh, Jesus died on a cross. No, he didn't die on a cross. Which is it? Which is it? Ask them why they lie, why they change their minds on so many things, and where are all these new revelations coming from, right? But you have to show them where the lies are. So I'm going to give you an example of one here. This is a lie. So they only let you go back to the 1984 edition, right? So we're going to go to that edition. Now, if you have the hard cover of this book, (1984), okay? This is the revised, and it's a small version, you see. If you have the original hardcover, the bigger one, this is the smaller one, this is small. If you have the original 1984, large size, you're going to notice in Hebrews 1, verse 6, they'll have the word worship in there, okay? They will have the word worship, and here they do not, because maybe this is because it's the revised version, it's the smaller version. I don't have the 1984 original hardcover. Okay, I have the revised. And I've already checked. They've already changed it. They've changed it to obeisance. And they do not show the reference at all that it is worship. That the actual word is worship. They don't have that here. Do they have it here? Let's find out. So we're in the 1984 edition. And we're going to go down to Hebrews. Now, it's cool that they give you access to these older books. So they shouldn't touch these older books. If they change stuff, then that would be a lie, right? Hebrews 1. Okay. I'm going to go down to verse 6. Hebrews 1, verse 6. Right here. But when he, again, brings his firstborn into the inhabited earth, he says, and let all God's angels do obeisance. There it is again. There's that word, obeisance to him. But look here. They've actually got the little footnote here. Okay, so if you have the hardcover, you'll notice it's worship. But here, you have to click on this little footnote. But I do give them credit. They put this here. But you would never know unless you went back to the 1984 version. Okay, you got to go back to the 1984 version to catch this. And then you got to click it. And you'll notice when you click it, they stay true to the 1984 edition. There it is. Or let worship. It should be let worship. They added the obeisance in there. That's what they added in there. You'll never get that you'll never get that word obeisance when you translate that Greek text right up there where it says let worship. You're always going to get worship because that's what it means. So Jehovah's Witnesses, you got to show people this. You got to say, well, why is it that your 1984 version says worship? Furthermore, why is it that I can't go back and check out the older editions, 1970s? How about 1961? How about 1950? Why can't I go back and check those versions? Why? Because they don't want you to check those versions. They don't want you to check those versions because there's too many things that they've changed since then. There's too many things that they've changed their minds on. This here is the New World Translation. As you can see, New World Translation. 1950. Okay. This is Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. Brooklyn, New York. The Holy Land. Everybody knows that. New York's the Holy Land. Right? That's where Jesus came. That's where he was born. New York City. But when he brings his firstborn into the inhabited earth, he says, and let all God's angels worship him. Oh, wow. 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 Are you sure this is... Wait a minute. Are you sure this is Watchtower? Wait a minute. Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. Are you sure this is Watchtower, Brooklyn, New York? Are you sure about that? Worship. Wow. Worship. Yep. That's right. Now, they do have that little circle there at worship, right? It's just giving you some references. Yeah, so there's no obeisance. It's straight up worship. And let all God's angels worship him. You see that, right? Worship. So these are the things that you got to show them. These are the things you got to show them. Why are they changing throughout the years, right? Why would they do this? What changed, in 20, 30 years? What revelation came out between 1950 and 1980? Actually, this was like this in the 60s too as well. If you have a book from the New World Translation, 1961. Like I said, even their 84 edition has it. So they just slowly started getting away from it. You see, they put it here, but they put this and they put that there. And then it went away after this. It's gone. It's gone. So my question is, why the change? What changed in a matter of, a decade or so? What changed? What new revelation came in from the 50s to the 60s and to the 80s? Why go through all these changes? What are you really to believe when an organization can change so frequently, like I change my underwear, right? At the end of the day, most people, I'm going to say most, because I believe there are some people in this society, they're not in it for Jesus, they're not in it for God. They're just in it to be part of an organization and follow the organization's rules. Almost like a club, right? Almost like being part of a Masons group or the Boys and Girls Clubs or the YMCAs. They just want to be part of a club. They're not looking for any kind of salvation. Okay, they're not looking for Jesus. They're not looking for God. They just want to be part of something. Most, I would say, Jehovah's Witnesses that actually are looking for the truth, right? They're looking for the truth. They're looking to be saved. They want salvation. They want to love God. And they are being misguided, right? Because anybody that's going to change like this and make up stuff as they go along, when somebody creates the game and then changes the rules as you move along, the only thing you need to do, the only thing you have to do, the only way to win is to stop playing with them. Stop playing the game with them. Get out of the game. Exit. Leave. Leave. Go with a Bible that doesn't change anything, right? Get a Bible where things don't change every decade, where they remain the same, where things are the same as they were from the 1st century to the 2nd century, to the 3rd century, to the 4th century, till now. You can't say that about Jehovah's Witnesses. You can't say that their books and their teachings have been the same. Every decade is something new, right? Every decade. You cannot say, have the Jehovah's Witnesses, has the Watchtower Society, have they been consistent in their teaching since they've started? No. How many changes have they made? You're going to have to say hundreds, right? They didn't make 1. They didn't make 2 changes. They didn't make 10 changes. They didn't make 20 changes, right? You're up there in the changes that they've made, in the different directions they've gone in the inconsistencies. It's through the roof. It's through the roof. But here in this video, I'm just going to stick to this one. We're just going to stick with this one. Why did this change? Why in this book? Why does this book say worship? Why does this book say worship? Why does their 1984 version have conflict? Why does it say obeisance, but then a footnote like saying, worship, worship too? And now it's gone. Why don't you offer this anymore? Why don't you still say worship anymore? Why are we just using obeisance? Why don't we have the footnote anymore? With how many inconsistent changes and mistakes that this Watchtower Society has, I can make a video every day for the rest of my life. And I might not catch them all. So this is one for you. Take what you will from it, and hopefully you've learned something. Until next time, God bless.